Hello, all, and welcome back to a new episode of Movies and Us, a weekly gathering place filled with conversations about movies, stories, and connection. My name is Jennifer Hahn.
And I'm Sarah Callan.
And today we are here for a very deranged episode in this very merry holiday season. And we were deeply inspired by one Britt. So today we're going to be talking about The Hunt, and this is scheduled to be released on Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to everybody. Britt, would you like to introduce yourself and perhaps a little bit of the backstory of why we're here about The Hunt?
Absolutely. I'm more than happy to. First off, thank you so much for having me back. I think it's so much fun because I've had such a wide variety of films that we've talked about. We have The Fall Guy, Nosferatu, The Witch, and then my personal favorite movie ever, the Pirates of the Caribbean. And so what a range.
I love that we started with The Fall Guy.
The Fall Guy, the most random movie. And I was like, yeah, this sounds great. Such a fun conversation about such a really, really useless film. But so you both came on to my podcast, 1001 by 1, to talk about Thomas Vinterberg's film from 2020 called Another Round. And I believe in Another Round, I mentioned The Hunt and how I said, but it's a holiday movie, so make sure you watch it around Christmas because it culminates in something that happens on Christmas Eve. And then you reached out and said, would you like to do a Christmas episode? We're doing The Hunt. And I said, oh my God, I'm so sorry. This is my fault. But also, thank you for going on this journey with me. I still stand by that, though. This is a Christmas movie. They talk about Christmas all the time in this film.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's kind of like Nosferatu is now a Christmas film because it happens at Christmas time. There's Christmas trees in it. And I don't want Christmas trees any other time of the year. Thank you very much. I can't watch it if it's not after Halloween, maybe going into Thanksgiving or December. I don't want Christmas bleeding into the rest of my life. So that's why this is a Christmas film.
Well, there's also Christmas carols. You got, family drama. You got people lying about other people. You got people punching each other in church on Christmas Eve.
That seems right.
The way
fitting
to
for
do
Christmas.
it. Yeah, the way to do it on Christmas Eve. Just punch your friend. Throw a hymnal at them if you want.
Absolutely.
Well, the funny thing that all Christmas movies does, that The Hunt does, is it name drops Christmas every scene. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Every Christmas movie is always it's almost Christmas. We're going for Christmas. What are we doing for Christmas? And honestly, The Hunt does that too. The Christmas is said so many times throughout the entire film. So
Christmas cookies.
The sheer volume. Yeah, there's Christmas cookies. The teacher sings a Christmas hymn at one point. At the beginning of the film. That's when I was
am I misremembering? I did watch this movie yesterday while laying in bed while drinking a glass of wine. But do the kids wear Christmas hats in the church, or am I just making that up in my head? I think they wear Christmas hats. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Thank God. I thought I was okay, this is you just making this up because why would they also put Christmas hats on the kids? But because it's Christmas in a church.
In a Christmas movie.
Yeah, in a Christmas movie. The most the happiest of Christmas movies. It's definitely going to get you into the Christmas spirit. So if you haven't seen it, just go ahead. Don't look into it. Pull up a chair, pop it on. It's really going to make your Christmas Eve light and happy.
You know what's going to happen is you're going to watch this movie. You're going to go back to your dysfunctional, deranged family and be but at least, it could be worse.
It could be worse. I could be Lucas, who just somehow is the biggest loser in the world. And also I feel so bad for him. God.
Yeah. Yeah. So thank you, Britt, for bringing us this moment of chaos. This was not my bucket list for 2025, but it seems fitting to end a year of chaos with some more chaos. So I think there's at one point in the movie where a character's being asked, are you a sick person? And I'm just the three of us, yes.
Yep.
We're doing this during the Christmas time. I love it.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that.
Okay, so The Hunt Sarah, do you want to kick us off with an IMDb summary for this very good movie? This very good movie.
Yes, so the summary is: a teacher lives a lonely life, all the while struggling over his son's custody. His life slowly gets better as he finds love and receives good news from his son. But his new luck is about to be brutally shattered by an innocent little lie.
That is the worst summary I've ever heard in my life. That sets this movie up to be something far different.
Yeah. Yeah.
How have I never read that summary before? IMDb, get your shit together. Someone's grandma is going to watch that movie.
Right? Yes.
Someone's grandma who can't handle it. Like, oh my God.
Grandma, can I please protect grandma from this movie? Oh my gosh.
Please. I mean, unless she wants to be miserable, then like let her live her truth. I don't know.
But Britt, you're gonna be that grandma at the nursing home that's like, guys, The Hunt, let's do a screening.
Let's watch it.
Come on.
Right after that, we'll watch Salo. It's gonna be great.
Okay. One sentence summaries for The Hunt. Let's go around and share. Britt, what is your one sentence summary for this film?
Fistfights in church can heal the soul.
That works on so many levels. Yeah. I love it. Multi-layered. Yeah.
It's my favorite scene. So
yeah,
for so many reasons, but also the hymnal. I can't get over it. It's so good. I love that we're laughing so much. This is not a funny movie. This is a really depressing movie.
Sarah, what is your one sentence summary for The Hunt?
My summary is: everybody lies.
Oh, yes. Very good.
They should put that on IMDb. That's literally the movie.
Yes.
My one sentence summary is: a friendship of mopeds and stolen apples will triumph against all odds.
That's also better than the IMDb summary. Yeah. Like that, I can't stop thinking about it. I'm going to be perfectly honest. It is playing through my head. I know you just did it like 3 minutes ago, but I'm still thinking like that is just watching the scenes going, I guess I'm going to put that in as part of it, even though that is it's so inconsequential. Oh my God.
I actually think that the way this movie is framed, I was expecting a slightly different movie as well. So we'll talk about that.
Oh, I can't wait to hear about it.
Yeah. Hello, this is Jen and Sarah from the future. We wanted to make sure to come on and include a content trigger warning for this episode. This film and our conversation definitely talk about and dive into topics that can be very sensitive for people. And so we wanted to make sure to include a hello, take care of yourself, proceed with caution, proceed carefully so that you can take the best care of what's most honoring for you and your mental health. So we want to include a content trigger warning. And with that, we'll go back to the rest of the episode that we have a really great conversation with Britt about The Hunt. Okay, let's share our high-level thoughts about The Hunt. We don't want to spoil this movie yet. So we're going to give a spoiler in a second, but thoughts about this film. Britt, you've seen this film a whole bunch of times at this point.
I've seen it a couple of times. I've seen it a couple of times, but it really like sunk into my soul and just like sat there. So the first time I saw it was a couple of years ago. I had seen Festin by Vinterberg before, and my husband and I decided we loved Mads Mikkelsen, which is like, who doesn't? Yes. He's incredible. And we wanted to watch a really intense Mads Mikkelsen movie. We were like, let's watch something that's like a Danish film. And we originally wanted to watch A Royal Affair, also from 2012. It's very good. I really like it. But we couldn't find it streaming anywhere. And The Hunt was streaming. We went in completely blind. We had no idea what this movie was about. We just knew that Mads was in it. I really like Vinterberg. So I said, yeah, this is probably going to be great. Viscerally affected by this. Like, you know, the inciting incident does happen at the 10-minute mark of this movie. And we went, oh no, this is not good. Like something very bad is going to happen. And we were so very, very right. And I've seen it a couple of times since, and I think that this is one of those films that on rewatches, you just learn more about the characters. You find more small little things in it. But even so, knowing what is going to happen doesn't take away from this film. This isn't, don't go into this movie thinking it's going to be a thriller or it's going to be a whodunit, because that's not what this is about. This is truly a human movie about how we react to situations that are horrifying and very uncomfortable. And I mean, this is a 5-star film for me. I can't deny that. It's always, it just keeps going up in my estimation. I think that it came in like third. We had our top 25 of the last 25, years, on 1001 by One. And I think this was third, on our list.
Wow.
It was pretty high, or it was at least in the top 10. I know it was third on my list. I just think it's a really important film, and it tackles a very, very difficult subject matter very well.
So well said. So well said. And there's so much. I'm curious some of those details that came to light more fully with the rewatches, because that's fascinating. Yeah. Yeah. Sarah, thoughts about The Hunt?
Yeah, so this is the first time that I have experienced this film, and I didn't know much about it other than Britt talking about it multiple times, and I was like, well, okay, let's watch this. I don't even know that I read the IMDb summary, or if I did, I had read it like months ago and had deleted that from my brain, so I had no idea the journey that we were going to go on, and I mean, obviously, Mads, incredible as always, and in a different role than you might expect from him. And so I found that to be really interesting. And obviously, this is a very upsetting film, a lot of really difficult subject matter to get into. And I love that Vinterberg is so matter of fact about it.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of gloss or glitz in this. It is very, like, you just feel like you are in these rooms with these people as they are walking through this very, very difficult circumstance. And I think that really helps make it feel so real and so visceral and make it even more upsetting. And then the other thing is, I kept thinking about like other stories like this that have happened in real life. And that also makes this film all the more horrifying to watch, and all the more of a gut punch, because we've seen stories like this actually happen. This feels so rooted and grounded in truth because, like you said, Britt, it's such a human film that's just about human nature and how we respond to things, and really, bringing up a mirror to how we as humans respond. And so it's a very, very well done film. It is a hard one to watch, but it's definitely like worth going on that journey.
Totally agree.
Yeah. I kept thinking too about the parallels, reflections to so much in reality too. And that just makes this more tragic and heartbreaking to watch. This has been on my watch list for years. Like, I'm same with you, Britt, huge fan of Mads. Man, he just can do it all.
He really can.
Yeah. And so I was excited to watch this film. It's characterized as a thriller/drama. So it's fascinating to watch this film with that lens, because I'm waiting for the thriller to come, and it's a drama. It's a human drama.
Yes.
Right? Like, I would not categorize it as a thriller. It is thrilling, but I think it doesn't fit any of those genre stereotypes that we would expect. And so I think it kind of perhaps doesn't help the film when people go in with those expectations.
Yes.
But I also love the subversion of all of it too. Like, it's inviting you into the spaces and places of this place in this world, and you just have to sit with it. I'm impressed by the film's ability to make every character empathetic and understandable. I hate having to empathize with everybody. It's terrible, because then we have to hold all of it in tension together. And that's the point of this film too.
Yes.
So, that was horrifying and terrible to have to like put myself in everybody's shoes constantly and be like, oh, but I understand that reaction. And I understand how that reaction is causing so much pain for this other character that is also suffering. So yeah, it's really well done. It's fascinating that we are watching this after a conversation about Another Round, because there's so much that's in The Hunt thematically that is also woven so deeply into Another Round that clearly Vinterberg is like stewing around and musing on constantly.
Oh,
so
yeah.
that was also interesting too, to know that our origin for getting to review this was Another Round, but seeing his thread lines pull so far back to what he was thinking about The Hunt too.
I think with Vinterberg, there are certain directors that you can tell what their movies are when you watch them, because they all feel like they exist in the same world. Like, this is Vinterberg's world, right? Where there are other filmmakers, like I would say like Kim Ji-woon, who all of their films are drastically different. Kiyoshi Kurosawa is another one where they do not feel like they're in the same world. They, sometimes you watch something and go, oh my God, that was that director. Vinterberg is not that way. Vinterberg is very, very intentional with the themes that he is exploring, and they do connect through all of his films. I mean, even if you go back to Festin, which, have either of you seen Festin? This his first film. I don't want to give too much away, but it very much is in line with what the themes explored in this movie and the themes explored in Another Round. And I think with Vinterberg, he has a lot to say about being human and being uncomfortable and allowing yourself to live in that discomfort, because it's important to grow and change. And I think that's something that we've kind of lost. A lot of people don't like being uncomfortable. A lot of people don't want to. And that's also something in this movie. People don't want to be uncomfortable. People don't want to ask uncomfortable questions, so they don't. And that's actually a huge issue. But then also people do ask questions and they get the wrong answers. So it's just, it's such a complicated film. And it makes me very happy that Vinterberg chose this subject matter, because I think it's very taboo. I think it's very difficult. And if you I listened to an interview with him and Mads discussing this, and they both were talking about how it's not about the real life things that are happening. Like that we'll go into spoilers to say what it is, but they're not making a commentary on the real life things that happen to these two people. They're making a commentary specifically on this one thing that's happening in this movie. It has nothing to do with the other, which you understand what I mean. The audience will at some point when we spoil the movie. And also, Vinterberg talked about how he was given he didn't even start working on this movie for 7 years after he came across this subject matter, and how he and Mads didn't want this to be a thriller because that would totally take away the human aspect that they were trying to dive into in this film. I just really like this movie, even though it's very depressing.
Well, let's spoil the movie, shall we? So we can talk freely about it. Yes.
Oh my God, yes.
Spoiler alert for The Hunt. Go in very blind. Go in with your white canvas. Let Vinterberg take you on this journey. Prepare your heart. But also, I think it's such an important film to watch. I feel, man, I wish everyone can watch this, so that I think there's so many issues today that are discussed where it's easy to villainize one side or the other. And I think The Hunt is this incredible invitation into like, man, there really are so many dimensions and sides of a story. There's so much faith and trust that is hard to build, but it's also so important to build with the people that you care about most in your life. And all of that is existing all at the same time. And all of that complexity is held so well by Vinterberg and this team. So go watch The Hunt, come back and listen to the rest of our conversation. So now we can talk freely.
Oh, good. It's very hard to talk about this film. Yeah. It's very hard to talk about this film without spoiling it, because like I said, the inciting incident happens 10 minutes into the movie, and it is very obvious from that moment. If you did not know that this was, and spoilers here, if this was about an accusation of child molestation, you do right then when Clara jumps on Lucas, and you're like, oh no. Like, I had a gut reaction the first time I watched it, thinking this is going into very dark places. And it does. It but it's very clear too. It doesn't feel like it's shoehorned in and then this dramatic, melodramatic retelling. It feels so realistic of how things just spiral. I think, okay, can we talk about Clara real quick? So Clara is the 6-year-old who I don't want to say is coerced into saying what happened, but is very young and very, she's a child. Her brain is not developed. So what the accusations that come about are more kind of like what people infer from what she's saying. And I really appreciated the fact that she was never vilified in this movie. Like which is so easy. People love to make kids evil in movies, which like I'm here for an evil kid. That's fine. But I think it would have been really easy for there to be a scene where Clara looks over at him and just smiles really horribly. And you're like, right? And Vinterberg never we never have to consider, is what we seeing real or not? We know it's real. Like everything in the movie is real. We know that. And that's the strength of this film. Clara is allowed to be a victim as well because she's a victim of the circumstances surrounding it too. It's Clara. I thought she was really good. I really,
my gosh.
Carrying that little actress was amazing. I can't believe she was able to carry that role at all. Yeah. But that's what I have to say about Clara.
I think it's the writing which is incredible because time and time again, she's actually trying to tell the truth. And she is being silenced by the adults that are almost telling their narrative to her. And obviously, as a young kid, all you see is that you're being told like this is true. So then you wonder like maybe that is true. And children alone have to figure out what is like real and imaginary. And the teachers always talk about how she has a vivid imagination. And so if these big adults are telling her with authority, no, you didn't remember what's happening, or you're trying to discount what was happening because you're embarrassed. You're like, oh, maybe I am, I also love the scene where she is being interrogated by this big burly man with all of the leading questions. And I felt for her so much because you see her hesitation at the beginning, but as she is scared and terrified by this giant man asking her all of these leading questions, and you see that when she nods, she gets the response of approval and the tension breaking. So obviously as a young kid, she doesn't know any better other than like, okay, this is the thing that will get me out of here. I just want to go outside and play. And if I nod, he'll let me go. He'll smile at me. And so you see her little brain not comprehending what's happening and just trying to get out of this very pressurized situation that is very scary for her. And I think that she does an incredible job, that little actress, bringing that like nervousness and all of that written on her face, but also great writing, like he is leading her to a narrative that she never told.
No,
and is kind of being coerced into agreeing with the narrative because that's seemingly what the adults want, and children just want to please the adults around them.
They do. They do. And especially, we see the scenes earlier in the film where it's, I don't think she comes from an abusive home. I don't think that at all. I think that she has very loving parents, but they're very temperamental parents. And there's a point where they're screaming at each other and she's outside because she wants to get away from that, which it's like, they have 2 kids. Like it's, being married's hard, right? Like it is just something that happens. And I think that sets up so well that all she wants is just to please people. She just wants to make it stop, right? She wants to remove herself from the situation so she doesn't have to deal with it anymore. And so when this big burly man, who's very nice, like he's a very nice man who is asking very leading questions that like, holy crap, come on, man. She, like you said, she just wants to get out of there. And this is the way to do it. And it's so perfectly put on screen. God, it's amazing. Talking about this makes me be like, can I make this a 6 out of 5 stars? Like this movie is just so good.
Well, and I think even those little details of like, after all the accusations come out and Lucas is vilified and all of that, and she still shows up to come and walk the dog. And so it's those little moments of like, you know that there isn't this like malicious intent in her. and she's just this little kid who's trying to make sense in this world, and now everything has changed and she doesn't know what to do, and she seeks out comfort in Lucas, in the dog. And we've seen that pattern earlier in the film. And so I loved those little details. Obviously, it creates so much tension because I'm like, oh, what are you going to do now? This is so bad. But from Clara's perspective, she just wants to hang out with this dog who's so cute and just go on a walk and have a little time alone with the dog. Like, I loved those little moments of like innocence from her to just like you were saying, she's not an evil child. This is not a malicious thing that she's doing. This film is not about her. It's about this lie that has then, ballooned into something that's incredibly devastating and destructive that she never intended it to be.
Yeah. And I can't fault like the teacher who brings up the accusations, because the way that Clara does tell her like, oh, I hate Lucas. He gave me this. And it's because she's embarrassed, because she was like, oh, I have a crush on you. And he's like, you can't do that. You can't, no, tries to, and what he should have done is immediately tell the teacher what happened. Right. But he doesn't necessarily do the wrong thing, but he doesn't do the right thing in the situation where he like explains the situation to someone who he's working with. So when Clara tells the teacher what happens, I think it's normal for the teacher to jump to that conclusion, because this is a thing that happens to children a lot. Like there is we're not saying that children lie about being abused. Children are abused all the time, and that's a huge issue. It's just that this specific film is not about a child actually being abused. This specific film is about a lie that gets out of control and the mob mentality that takes over, especially in the parents, because they don't want something to be wrong. They want to make sure that they are believing their children. And it's rough. It is a rough watch. I feel bad for the teacher a lot, because and especially on this last rewatch, her trying to rationalize what Clara is saying. And in that, like, that was one of the things on the rewatch when Clara is telling her what happened, quote unquote, her trying to find a different answer until she finally comes around to, oh my God, I think this might have happened to this child, is really impactful and really interesting. Like it really kind of took my breath away. I was like, oh God, oh no, it's all about to start. And I can understand how she came to this conclusion. We have so much more information than she does. We have so much more information than anybody in this movie. And thank you, Vinterberg, for trusting us to have all the information and assuming that the audience will still want to go on this journey. Because we did. We all watched it for Christmas.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the really propelling and dramatic tension of the film, is that we know more than everybody else does. And the question that I kept thinking about throughout this film is, will the truth ultimately come out at the end of the film? Because it doesn't it might not, and then what Vinterberg chooses to say about the nature of humans and communities, especially close-knit communities, will be exclamation pointed by like, will there be a redemption? Will there be reconciliation? Or will Lucas constantly be outcast? And when we talk about the ending, I think the ending is genius, because Vinterberg is essentially saying there is opportunity for us to reconcile as humans, but it will be highly imperfect, and there will always there's costs and there's scars to when these things come to light. And so it isn't a perfect reconciliation and redemption.
No.
Lucas is not living an incredible life back again, restored to its previous state, but it's also not an incredibly cynical look at human nature either. There is friendship restored and rebuilt, and he is part of the community again. But the suspicions, the doubt, that is the true cost. And that's the thing that honestly is kind of going to be painful for Lucas the rest of his life, is that it will haunt him. And there were costs, even though he was innocent. And I think that is a fascinating, like, mixed, ambiguous, complicated read that Vinterberg has the ending of, like, the nature of humans. It's like, we will try our best, but it will be really messy still.
there's no way it can be the same. It can't go back to what it had been, because there's always going to be that kernel of questioning. There's always going to be that moment of like, well, why would she say that if it wasn't true? You know, we can't help that. We can't help asking questions like that as humans. We are fallible. We will make incorrect assumptions, and we can try to move forward, but that doubt's always going to be there. And also, can I just say, I found it quite shocking that he was still friends with the guy who beat the shit out of his son. Like, I was like, wow, Lucas, your son's like 15 years old, and this huge Danish man just slapped the shit out of him for standing up to you. How dare you? But also, that's like a part of we're just going to move on, right? We're just going to move on and pretend it's all fine. But I also was like, I think my dad would never have hugged that man again. If it was, definitely if it was me, but if he had a son and his son was standing up for him, I think he'd be like, no, arm's length. You slap my son. Right? No, that ending. Okay, I have a question for you both.
Yeah.
At the end, who is it? Who do you think it is that shoots the shot? Because somebody does.
Somebody does. I don't know. Honestly, so I didn't know anything about this film other than people, Britt, telling me that it was incredibly depressing. And so I was like, okay, Mads is going to die. Like, that's what we're going to do. So I really thought that when they're going on the hunt, I was like, he's going to get shot in these woods. He is going to be murdered right here after this whole like cheery moment. And so the fact that Lucas survives, I was like, oh, okay, this is a happier movie than I expected this to be.
Happy holidays.
They actually they had an ending where he does get shot and does die, but I think this is so much stronger because Mads has to live with this character of Lucas, has to live with the fact that people don't believe him and somebody still is out for him. I personally think it's Clara's brother. Because he's shown that he's there. They talk about the guns. They talk about, like going hunting multiple times, and he's shown in the last scene. And the only other time we really see him, other than when his fucking terrible friend shows.
Oh my God.
That was disgusting. That was the worst moment of the whole movie. I was like, that little fucking asshole. I want to slap him. I would. I'd slap that kid. He was awful. But no, I wouldn't slap anybody. That's not very nice. I won't say that. But he was not a very nice person. But the only other time we see Lucas is when he is with Clara and they're like making a little like Christmas structure or whatever like thing. And then they go outside and they're in the snow, and you can tell that he's so much older than her, but he cares about her so much. Other than not stopping his friend from showing a very inappropriate thing to his sister. And I was like, oh, Luke, it's probably, his friend Theo's kid. Like, that's probably who that was. I think a lot of people think it was his own son. I don't think there's any way that it was Marcus. I don't think at all. But because of this, like the stature of the person, that's my theory. Because why else would we have that scene with Clara and her brother if it was never going to come up again? That's how I feel.
Well, and I think that's an interesting read because in that the scene that happens right before the ending scene at the rifle ceremony,
so weird.
It's a very, very different culture. You see Mads looking around at everyone who's smiling at him, and he feels that there is still doubt. Like the fragility of the restored relationships. You see Mads almost looking around being like, I don't know if I can fully be at ease right here. And he looks at Clara's brother, and Clara's brother kind of glaring in the corner a little bit in that shot. It's a very short moment.
Yep.
But the other direction that my mind went is when Clara says the others too, that line haunts me. Yeah. And the film never addresses it again. It's like a short little thing that she says of like, I can't remember. Like, I don't remember if it was like you or the others too. And I love that. One, the film doesn't double click on that because it knows that I don't think we could handle it anymore. But there feels like there's so much more happening in this small rural community that has not come to light yet.
Yeah.
and we've been already on quite a journey, an upsetting journey, that the film's like, yeah, we will not leave you with this. But those 3 words from her haunt me a little bit. And I wonder if there's something with that and the guilt and whatnot that is also like woven into who that might be. Like,
yeah. Well, they jump on the accusation so quickly that also places, on the rewatches that, because I that one single line goes, oh God, this could spiral into something completely different. I think it shows a lot of restraint not to, because this is actually a pretty, like, for the large subject matter of this movie, it's a very small film. It's very contained. And I think if we added anything else in, one, it would teeter from being this really incredible human complicated story into melodrama, to where it would be like, okay, this is actually too far at this point. And it would undermine what they were trying to say. And Vinterberg, like I said, Vinterberg is telling us basically everything about this specific story, but that doesn't mean he's not hiding other things for what's really happening under the surface, like the rot that's there within this community. Just don't have friends, I guess. Like, don't have hunting friends. It doesn't seem like it seems very toxic.
Also, like, if you just go through this 10 months ago and now you're kind of okay and kind of on speaking terms, why are you going to go to this place where everybody has loaded guns? I know this is a big deal for your kid. I get that, but also that's a lot of guns yielded by people that didn't like you like 10 months ago. Were beat up in grocery stores 10 months ago. Why? I have questions.
I would not. Well, first off, like, I don't know. I'm a pacifist. I don't like guns and I don't like hunting. I think especially in this, it's a conservation thing. And like, they also state, like, the animals that were shot for this, it's population control. So like, if you are utilizing the food, what you hunt, I have no problem with it. I think venison tastes great, to be perfectly honest. It's awesome. I'm not going to do it myself because I don't think guns are great, personally. But also, that was always confusing to me. I'm like, okay, he wants to feel like things are normal, but they're not. It's very easy to shoot someone with a gun like that when you are in the woods trying to shoot deer. Like, no, I wouldn't. Come on, Lucas. Come on. You're smarter than that, right? He's not. He's really not. He's kind of such a loser. He is, though. Like, it starts out with him with his I love him. He's a very lovable loser, but he's kind of a loser. And I think that's what works so well. Mads makes this character that could have just be seen as like this really honestly hard to follow person is very sympathetic. He we don't know why he just got a job, when he's talking with his ex-wife who just seems to hate his guts. He says, oh, well, I'd like for Marcus to come live with me. And she's saying no. And then he says, well, I do have a job. And she's like, yeah, working as a kindergarten teacher. And I'm like, wait, what happened? Okay, first off, what did he do before? So this must be a late in life choice. Well, not late in life. He's 42. But like, this is a later in life career change. What did he do before? Why did he lose his job? Was he a house husband maybe? Which is totally fair and fine. Like that's great. But when his wife left, she took all the money and he was just left with this big house. Like, what is the backstory here? I'm kind of interested to know how Lucas got to this place where he's just kind of trying to make it work.
Sad and mopey.
So sad and mopey. Yes. But he loves his kids so much. And I love that. I love their relationship. That was, what didn't really work for me?
Oh, yes. Tell us.
I really don't like his girlfriend. She's kind of like she's too forward for me. Not forward like, I actually think the sex scene is like my favorite sex scene that's ever been in a movie because it's so funny and realistic of like her saying like, where does the dog go? Yeah. You're going to take the dog out of the room? And he's like, oh, yeah.
And then she throws the ball down. Okay, we're good now.
And she throws it really bad too. But there's something about her that I find just really grating. I don't know why. I'm like, this is the aspect of the film I I think could have been cut personally. I don't really think it adds much other than the scene with Clara when Clara shows up and she has that moment of doubt, which is so interesting and also so valid. She's allowed to, why is this child showing up at this man's house? Like, it's her reaction to that, I think, is totally
human,
fair and valid and makes sense. And Mad's reaction to her, also totally fair and valid and makes sense. But other than that, I find her really annoying. And I was like, oh, I think you're kind of like rude, but not in a fun way, not in a like, I'm just very sure of myself. And I know you're actually just rude. So that
I think she's there just to showcase Mads' terrible flirting skills.
Oh my God.
Out of the game. Like, she literally in the like nighttime scene outside of the school is like, I like you a lot. I think you're really cool. And he's like, likewise. I really want to see you. Likewise. I'm like, bro, we gotta work on this.
What is going on with this dude? You have no game.
Likewise.
Oh,
you're very sweet. Likewise.
The one thing I do like when he's like, oh, would you like a cup of coffee? And she goes, no. When she walks in the house, and I was like, oh, she's there to bone. That's all business. She wants. Yep. She's ready. Which good for her.
Go get it.
But I also just find her personality annoying.
Well, and I think she provides this like real contrast with Lucas too, because Lucas is a loser. He's so like tame, mellow, mild, complacent, like not really doing anything in his life. And then she shows up and she's like, this is what I want. I'm going to state it. I'm going to lead the charge on this. Like, let's freaking go. And so I think for me, that was a valuable contrast to show just how, just kind of like stuck in a rut he is and how like kind of passively he's moving through life. And then obviously shit hits the fan. And so then we see other things come out of this character. But yeah, I think at least for me, she was that like, she is the one who's taking the charge and he is just happy to be in the backseat and along for the ride. Cause that seems to be more of his disposition.
Yes. I totally agree with that.
Stop.
I like that she's forward. I like that. I just, I don't know. She kind of,
a little more charisma, a little more spritz, a little more,
yeah. I don't know, but that's the one thing that I'm like. Well, there is one thing I don't like. Other than that, it's perfect.
It's a perfect film. I think it's so important that this film is set in a small rural town. I think that's essential to what Vinterberg is trying to say. And so to your point earlier, Britt, around like this, the worlds he creates feel like they exist in the same world. I'm like, man, just we were mentioning another round. Also, small insular community with a lot of middle-aged men that are figuring out what to do with themselves and with their lives. People in this film could be friends with people in that film. I would believe that they go to the same holiday parties, they drink together. But that common theme of like the loneliness, the lack of direction, like wondering, what am I doing? And when things hit the fan, there's this almost like you were mentioning, the mob mentality, because that is your only community. So it's either you conform and stick with the crowd, or you will also be alienated and there's no one else, nowhere for you to turn. So I think that's a significant part of why so many people in the town also are easier to just like conform and join forces with everybody that hates Lucas, because you will be cast out and excommunicated if you don't either. And so there's that social pressure that exists so strongly in small communities like this.
I am not from a small community. I've always lived in like a big city. But I think that if they had moved this to like, let's say they had done this in Copenhagen in like a really big area, it would not have the same impact because Lucas can't hide. Lucas, there's one store that he can go to, you know, like there is not any possible way that he's like, I can just move on with my life and hope that nobody finds out about this. He does not have that option. He has to stay there. I get the idea because I was like, oh, what if he just sold his house? And I was like, he probably can't. He probably doesn't have the funds to move anywhere else. He probably all of his money is in that house and no one is going to let anybody buy it because it's a small town. So if somebody comes in and is like, oh, maybe we'll move to the rural country, someone at that butcher is probably going to be like, oh, are you looking at Lucas's house? Let me tell you what he did. You know what I mean? Like there's no option. So when Lucas decides after he is beaten up in a grocery store, after he decides, oh God, it's so rough. Also, give him his goddamn groceries. Come on.
Yeah.
But when he decides to go into the church for Christmas Eve Mass, I feel so uncomfortable because I think, I would never do that. But he also doesn't have any other options. Like, this is the only thing he can do. He has to be a part of this community. That's all he has, even if they hate him. And it's when he's like trying not to cry while singing a hymnal and he kicks the pew. I was like, oh my God, I'm a lapsed Catholic. How dare you kick the pew? But also, wow. Church would have been so much more interesting if people threw hymnals at each other. Let me say, like, way more interesting.
Like rap battles, but with the hymnals.
With the hymnals. Yeah. Throw down right into your friend's eye, please. There's something so messy about the fight choreography in this movie, which like I didn't look into it. I don't know if they had a fight choreographer at all. It could have just been them scuffling, but there's something so realistic about that. It kind of reminds me of like in Eastern Promises. I kept on thinking about that while watching the fights, where like the bathhouse scene in Eastern Promises is so brutal and just like feels really realistic. The small fights in this felt really real. They weren't flashy. They weren't trying to make Lucas look like he could get the upper hand at all. But also with Theo, they never made Theo look like he could, like, was ready, prepared to, really, I'm a great fighter and I take boxing lessons. Neither of them were that way. There was something so real about the way that they filmed it that I really appreciated. It made me even sadder. I don't know. I really liked Theo. I thought that I really liked Thomas Bo Larson, I believe his name is, who plays Theo. I understand that that's a very difficult character because of just the nature of this movie, but I think he's really, really good. I gained more of an appreciation for him in this last viewing because he cares about his kids so much. I don't think that he's done anything to his daughter. Like, we have that small moment where, Clara says something and we're like, oh God, is she really being abused? I don't think it's him if something's happening. I think he truly cares about his daughter personally. That's my personal interpretation. And I think that that's really powerful in this movie. And it would make me really sad if that's not what they were going for. And I was like, oh God, he fooled me because he's just a dad who loves his daughter, who's very upset that this happened and he didn't notice, right? I don't know. I think he's really good. He also was super drunk the entire filming. Like, he's an alcoholic. Yeah. So apparently the fake beard that he has kept sweating off because his alcohol content, alcohol content was so high. And he actually helped write another round because he was such a severe alcoholic. Like, it was some of his experiences as an alcoholic that really helped write certain scenes, like the Sazerac scene in another round. He's great. I really liked him.
And he plays one of the most tragic characters in Another Round as well, which is fitting knowing, the backstory of that. So so well done.
Well done. Everybody's good in this movie. It's one of those things where it's like, wow, you got a perfect cast. Good for you, Vinterberg.
Yeah.
This
was collaborators too.
Yeah.
And I really like shared vision.
I'm a fan of frequent collaborators. Like, I think I think it's fine. Directors know who they like to work with, and that's great. Scorsese can work with Leo as much as he wants because they obviously have a great relationship together. I'm not a big Leo fan, but they do well, right? Mike Flanagan, he's allowed to work with his wife as much as he wants because they have a great relationship and she's great. So why not? Let people work with the people they want to work with.
Yep.
I don't have a problem when you reuse people. Some people don't like it, but you know what? Get over it. Get over it. If they make good art, who cares?
Exactly. Like, you're coming out with fantastic films like this, like Another Round. Like, yes.
Yeah.
Keep doing what you're doing. It's working great.
It works great for us. We love this Christmas movie.
We do.
It's so festive.
Gets you right in the holiday spirit.
Yeah.
There's Christmas parties.
There's so many Christmas parties.
There are. There really are.
And I'm like, oh God, that is coming up. Or it's happened. Definitely happened. We're recording this right at Christmas. You're releasing this right after we record it, right? On Christmas Eve. So,
exactly. Yeah. We're actually recording this Christmas Eve morning because we're that festive.
We're so festive. It was the only time we could find. I've got my Christmas tree up already, much to my husband's chagrin. He did say one time, we can cut this, but one time, because I put my Christmas tree up like the weekend after Thanksgiving. My mom comes over. It's a cute thing. It's fun. I like Christmas trees. They're cute. And one time he said, like, I feel like we put the Christmas tree up too soon. And I said, oh, that's fine. We can put it up later. When are you thinking? He was like, I don't know. I was thinking Christmas Eve. And I was like, no, absolutely. I was like, do you know how much work goes into that? And he's like, yeah, but it's up for a really long time. And I was like, how dare you? You don't even have to put it up. I put it up with my mom. No, it's going up after Thanksgiving. And he was like, all right, I just figured I would say
Vetoed. Thank you for suggestion. We respectfully decline.
Absolutely. It's not even respectfully. I just decline. No respect in that decline.
He needs to go talk to everyone that does it on November 1st because that's strange. I am also like the day after Thanksgiving, it goes up immediately to maximize the time. But
exactly, because it's a lot of work. It's not even for the Christmas festive spirit.
Yes, the fruits of the labor. Yes.
It's like
Christmas Eve is wild.
Yeah, but I think he also was like, if we spent Christmas just the two of us, we would get one gift and we'd barely acknowledge that it was Christmas. And I'm like, oh, that's tracks.
We live our lives differently. Yeah.
It was like, that is never going to happen. You know that. I'm not even a Christmas person.
Maybe it was his negotiating strategy. He's like, I'm going to push it as far back as possible so that she'll meet me somewhere in the middle around like a December 14th. He knows me too well. You went low, he went high.
He knows that I'm absolutely not going to give an inch on this one. Like, no way. I thought he was going to say December 1st. And I was like, yeah, December 1st is reasonable. Oh God. We needed some laughs. We needed some laughs before we talk more about this depressing film.
Yeah. Listen, when you're in a small rural town, I'm sure Christmas is like the thing of the year.
Oh God.
Like it is sport. Yeah.
Imagine the not getting the invitation to someone's party. Like how terrible that would be.
Yes. I know. That's why it's like conform or die. Like just two choices. Do you want community? You need people to survive.
Do you want to go to the Christmas party down the street? Well, I guess you all have to believe whatever is said. So
right. Yeah. Or the rifle ceremony, induction ceremony.
Yeah. Do you want a rifle? Come on.
Yeah.
You gotta believe. I think we've hit the nail on the head. That's literally the reason why there is this mob mentality in the movie. It's for a rifle and an invitation to a Christmas party.
Yeah. That pretty much sums up like communal experiences of joy. I guess you will do anything for as a human.
In a really depressing way. I think that actually really is what it is. Like, I don't think that's wrong at all. We just got to it in a really funny way.
Yes. Which we need because we need to survive this very depressing experience.
Yeah. It's God. Yeah. Rewatching it yesterday, I kept stopping and walking out to the front while having my ankles wrapped because tap dancing hurts. And because I was in a show and, I was tap dancing a lot. And I'd walk out because Neil was like, I don't need to watch that movie again right now. And I was like, that's okay. I'll watch it by myself. It's all good. And it's on Canopy. I'm sure it'll still be on Canopy at this time. So support your local libraries. Go find it there. It's free and available for you. And I kept walking out to say, be like, oh my God, I just watched this scene and blah, blah, blah. And he goes, okay, good. So it's still hitting. And I was like, it still hits every single time. He goes, still depressing? And I was like, yes, still very depressing.
That's why it hits.
Yeah, we had to watch Adventure Time after because I needed something to just lift my spirits a little bit. And then we watched Fantastic Four and I was like, I don't like Marvel, so I don't know why we're watching this, but okay.
I need some brain rot sometimes.
What a lineup, though!
It was weird. It was super weird. I don't even know what we watched earlier. I think we were just watching YouTube videos earlier. It was very much a rotten bed type of a day.
Yeah, one of those necessary with like a sandwiched in the middle is the hunt.
The hunt.
Some brain rot, the hunt, and then some more. Yeah.
Some more brain rot. Yeah. Feel good, then brain rot.
Yes. Yeah.
Because Adventure Time is not brain rot. It's just perfect.
Okay. Last few things before we wrap. I have two shout outs maybe three quick shout outs that I want to give. Let's roundtable any last big things that we wanted to mention, highlight, make sure was brought to the surface with choices that the hunt makes into Bergen team.
I think I've kind of said everything that I was going to say. Again, I could talk about this movie for ages. So I think I should stop while I'm ahead.
Sarah, do you have any last quick shout outs?
Yeah, the thing that I kept thinking about while watching this, and like we referenced it a little bit already, but was like the satanic panic that happened in the US in the 80s, specifically the McMartin preschool.
Yes.
And which is a fascinating thing
super
dive into. If you want to go down a little rabbit trail, look at the McMartin preschool and all of that and how that destroyed people's lives. Insane. But as I was watching The Hunt, like every single point, I'm like, that's what happened there. That's what happened here in the US in the 80s. And so I think that really helped me have so much more empathy for these characters as I'm watching this, because it has happened. Like,
yes,
in multiple places, in multiple countries. Yeah. This isn't just a thing that happened in this little community in Denmark that's just this like weird one-off thing, but it's such a human thing to take a lie and just it explode like this. And then the fallout of it, I think, is also really interesting. And the film's restraint in only giving us that little like few minutes with Lucas and kind of seeing how everybody's responding to him, I think was really smart, because it allows us to like imagine the fallout from all of this and to imagine what might have happened in that like 10-month-ish period between where we were and then when we pick up. And so I think that's really smart that the film stays so scoped, because our imaginations will let us fill in the gaps of what has happened, what does their lives look like now, how is this going to affect Clara and all of the other kids, the families, all of that. And we can imagine that, but Vinterberg doesn't have to actually show us those things. I thought that was a really smart, creative choice.
Again, Vinterberg trusts his audience, and I think that's so lovely. Thank you, Vinterberg, for trusting us to fill in the blanks, because it would have been I don't want him to show us what happened in those 10 months, because ultimately it doesn't matter for this film. Ultimately, it's not important for the story being told. We are seeing the moments that we should see. And also on that point, I was thinking of the same case while watching this film, and Vinterberg said something really interesting, how he had been given like a bunch of information by a child psychiatrist who was like, hey, you should do a movie about this. And in reading through all of these case studies, one of the most interesting things he found, which was also really heartbreaking to me, was that a lot of the time with these kind of false accusations, which again, they do happen. That's not saying that all of the accusations are false. That's not what we're saying at all. That's just what this movie happens to be about. A lot of the time, parents, in trying to help their children understand what happened, were reinforcing the narrative that was incorrect and implanting false memories. And we see that happening in the movie, and it's heartbreaking, because I don't think they're bad parents. They just want to make sure their daughter's okay, but they do cause harm in doing so. And I thought that was a really, really complicated, interesting aspect that happens in real life too. So on that, what you had said.
And I think that's why this film is so genius, but also so hard for us to watch, because we can understand why they're doing that. And that is true, that like someone will come forward, not just children, even like grown adults come forward with something and then walk it back because they're scared or they're embarrassed again. And so like they're trying to give Clara the space to say like, no, it's okay. Speak your truth. Like be like, we are here supporting you. But in the process, almost implanting in those false narratives in her. And it's out of a desire to protect.
Yes.
So everyone is so dang well intentioned in this movie. Even the teacher at school is just like looking to protect the rest of the children. But as a result, it's like leaving no room for any benefit of the doubt to be given. And so therefore, it's so hard.
And one of the interesting things also I caught this time, because I really kind of glossed over it the last couple times, but when they say, we held a meeting with all the parents and we let them know the signs to look out for. And then the parents were coming back and saying like, well, my kids are having these signs too. And it's like, oh God, that's so awful, because you implanted this idea into the parents' heads. So the parents are seeing things that like, I think that probably aren't there, because we know Lucas isn't an abuser. We know he's not this person. So it's just this cycle that keeps going and spiraling out of control. And that just like broke my heart too, because I'm like, oh my God, this is one small story in something that's really far reaching. Like all of these parents probably have a similar story of trying to understand what's happening with their children. And their children are now just stressed because these adults are asking questions that they don't understand. Like they can't possibly understand because they're 6. They're 6 years old. Oh God, it makes me just really sad.
Two quick shout outs that I wanted to give that I thought were genius ways that the story is written. One is when everything is starting to unravel and Lucas is realizing what's happening. The only thing that he mentions is Marcus and his son. And I thought that was such a fabulous character revealing moment for who Lucas is. He doesn't care about his reputation. He doesn't care about anything else. It's not about him protecting himself out of pride for how he looks. It's just all he cares about is like, oh my gosh, this is going to separate me from my child. And that's the one thing that is circling. So I think seeing that character pressed and seeing what comes out of him is incredible. The kindness and like patience he has whenever he's with Clara, understanding that she is a victim of what's happening. Like he doesn't explode at her. It's just with the adults that are flinging the accusations. Also really great. And then the other, I think, awesome detail that's just, it's not overdone, but I think important is seeing his friendship with Brune and the faithfulness of that character as such a contrast to everybody else. And I thought that was important that Winterberg wrote into the film to showcase like, yes, everybody else will turn against him, but there are those that are faithful and that believe the best in him and will not be swayed, and kind of makes you think about, you know, every relationship that you have in your life and like, gosh, how quickly everybody turned on him and like, why? And that faithfulness that Brune was like, I know who you are. I know that you didn't do this. And I'm so confident in that. And I think that's an important, he just shines so brightly against this landscape and everything else that is so dark and twisted and so quick to kind of be fickle in the winds. Brune stays faithful.
Well, there's that interesting like aspect of the film where Lucas is taken to prison, or you know, he's arrested. We have no idea what happens, and I think that was amazing. I was so glad we did not go there, because that's not important. What's important is what happens in this small community. So him being gone is you know, we're not going to see him. So Marcus takes on that kind of the lead role aspect at that moment, trying to figure out, well, first off, he doesn't have a key, can't get in the house, and also trying to find somebody to talk to. And he shows up at Theo's house first because he's obviously very close with him. They live very close, and he knows that that's like one of his dad's best friends. And the fact that Theo brings him in the house to begin with, I thought, whoa, that's it. He's a dad first and foremost. He wants to make sure this kid is okay. But then emotions are so heightened. When he kicked him out, I was like, how dare you? How dare you kick this child out? He's 15 years old. But then Brune comes to the rescue, and Brune's like, no, come in, come here. You know, like, I got you, which is, he just steps up so much in this movie that like, also his house is incredible. I was like, I want to go to Christmas there. That looks really fun.
Right? Can I hang out there?
Mother-in-laws.
Right? Exactly. They're all like going around the tree, like holding hands, singing songs. And I was like, wow, this is picturesque.
Again, Christmas movie.
Christmas movie. Christmas movie, 100%. I don't want to watch this in the summertime.
No,
there's
definitely
snow.
Not.
Why
Can't
would I do that?
Another relationship very quickly that we like briefly touched on, but I think was another really smart choice from the writing and the directing is that we never see Lucas's ex-wife. We only ever hear her on the phone.
Yes.
And, I love that the dog barks at whenever her name is spoken and all of that. So you feel her presence, you feel the weight of the separation of this relationship, but we never see her. And I thought that was so smart, because if we had seen her, that I think would have leaned more into that melodrama that you were talking about earlier, Britt. And so the fact that she is just a voice on the phone, most of the time just a voicemail on the phone, I think was really, really smart.
She's not a part of the village. She's not a part of that core group anymore. So there's no point to show her. And you're so right. So smart. Such smart filmmaking, because it is all about this community. It's all about how this community deals with it. We never even get a reaction of her calling him to be like, how dare you? Or is this true? Or anything like that. We only get Marcus's retelling of what, she said. And even that's not truthful, because he's not telling his dad the truth. He can't, because he just wants to be there for his dad. Yeah. So Lindenberg's really good.
He's very good indeed.
He might be one of my favorite directors of all time now.
Yes. And I'm glad that we got to use this holiday season as this excuse for us to watch this movie.
You're so welcome.
Doing some good work for the community here, Britt.
Yeah, really, really helping everybody get into that festive holiday spirit. It's going to make everybody thrilled and happy. You're welcome.
Honestly, all we want to do is just roll up to Brun's house for Christmas. That's all.
Oh my God, that sounds really fun.
It was this beautiful, magical little world in there.
It really was. Yeah. I mean, I will happily play Ring Around the Rosie around a Christmas tree. We all know I love a Christmas tree. You know who won't? My husband. He would sit in the corner. He'd be like, too much Christmas.
December 24th, the tree is still going up.
Probably in the evening too.
Yeah,
that's our evening
all
activity.
The leftover drying out trees from the Home Depot.
Exactly.
It was probably 50% off, so you're getting a good deal.
It's true. I mean, they might light your house on fire, but
right, kindling, really.
Yeah, exactly. We all want just a burning blaze in our living rooms, right?
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, this is a review and discussion of The Hunt for this festive season. It is available on multiple streaming platforms for $3.99. So I think it's free on Pluto, Tubi, watch it on Canopy, I think. So you can watch The Hunt now.
It's available
for your holiday season. Yeah.
Yeah, do it. Do it for your Christmas movie. Get the family together.
Can you imagine? Hey, let's gather around the family. Get some cookies.
I remember one time my parents were like, let's all watch Bad Santa together. And that was a mistake. So I think I'd rather watch The Hunt, to be perfectly honest, as a family movie. Because at least there's something to talk about with it.
There will be a lot to talk about at dinner. Yeah, the next
Christmas dinner. Who needs football? Do they play football on Christmas? I don't know. I don't know anything about sports.
No. But great cinema, I think that's fitting for bringing people together. Great art.
Yeah. Oh, a double feature: The Hunt and Die Hard.
Right? I was gonna say.
Honestly,
Let's get the Internet Keyboard Warriors to get The Hunt up there with causing chaos on the internet about how The Hunt is also a Christmas movie.
It is, though.
I heard people.
It is.
Yeah.
So much about also, the whole thing is about community, and Christmas time is supposed to be about community.
So let's see what not to do, and then go back and do it better in the real world.
Exactly. This is what you shouldn't do at Christmas. Don't be toxic. I think The Hunt, don't be toxic.
Yeah, be like Brun.
Yeah. Be like Brun.
Yeah, be like Brun.
Our hero.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Britt, for loving this movie so much that we were curious. We had to do it, and we had to do it in the way that is most fitting that you sold it to us in.
I'm so happy.
We'll find more of you and your shenanigans on the interwebs.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So I am a co-host over at 1001 by 1, which Jen and Sarah so graciously came on to another round. I believe you're both coming back for Ex Machina, which we won't be recording for like 6 months, but hey, that's how it goes. So we've just released we took a bit of a hiatus, but we're back. And we have released a couple episodes. We released Zodiac, which is a really fascinating conversation, especially because I have some pretty strong opinions about it. And then we did our draft episode where we draft our next season. So the next 2.5 years of our lives, because we do so many movies. Coming up, we have Under the Skin, which is just, that's a movie. A Streetcar Named Desire, and Cinema Paradiso, which I am particularly excited to watch. I haven't seen it yet, so I'm so excited. Also, we have our 1001 by 1 by 3 series. And by the time this comes out, I think we will have released our full official list of the top 25 directorial debuts of the last 25 years. We three will compile our own list, and then Joey works some magic to mash them all together. And it's really, really fun. And I don't know where things are going yet on it. We've gotten a couple of movies on the list that I was super excited about, including I Am Not a Witch, which is just incredible film if you haven't seen it. We also did our top 25 films of the last century, so you should go back and listen to that because it was really fun and we had a great time doing it. But yeah, that's what I have coming up.
So good. Lots of goodness over there on 1001 by 1. And Britt is incredible. We love having her on.
Oh,
go listen
thank
to her other
you.
episodes with her actually that were really fun. The Witch was one of my favorites actually because I just saw you become a glowing puddle.
Well, I had for context, I have 2 pages of notes for this movie because I was just like, yeah, these are the things that work. I'm just gonna talk. For The Witch, I had 14 pages of notes. 14 pages.
Maybe like special edition publishing of that with like a beautiful cover. Spray it with some of the perfume that you got.
Oh, the Nosferatu perfume that I still wear?
Yeah, the Nosferatu perfume, yes.
Well, I feel like this Christmas thing is now like a tradition because I did Nosferatu last year and I'm back for the hunt. So we've got to find an even weirder film for next year.
Well, like Werewolf by Robert Eggers is supposed to come out next year, which I was going to ask if you're excited. Yeah, that's right up here.
I'm excited because it's Eggers and I do love Eggers. I don't like Aaron Taylor Johnson, so I'm like, oh no. Like, I think he's very, very nice to look at. Like, so pretty. So dumb. I just don't think he's a good actor. So I'm like, maybe he'll be a good werewolf. Who knows?
You know, maybe if we cover him in fur, it might be better.
Well, the stills right now, he's covered in blood. And I'm like, honestly, working for me. Like, I love that.
Okay, great. So there's hope. Stay tuned until next year to see what Vern will think about.
Yeah, maybe he doesn't speak. Who knows? If he doesn't speak, then I think it'll be fine.
Oh, amazing. Well, we will include all of the links to those goodness where to connect with more with Britt and 1001 by 1 in the show notes. So go check her out. Go follow their podcast. Some amazing stuff happening over there. Our name, Movies and Us, sums it up. We're all about movies and the powerful ways we connect with each other and the world around us. This podcast is about all of us and our shared stories. So everyone is welcome here, and we're so glad you spent time with us today. You can subscribe to this podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you tune to your favorite shows. Drop us a rating and review, letting us know if you've seen The Hunt / or if you have an alternative, not so Christmassy Christmas movie that you want to share with us.
I want all of those. Please give us all those recommendations.
Be deranged with us.
Yeah.
You can connect with us on Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky at Movies and Us Pod, or email us at moviesanduspod@gmail.com. Check out our website, andusmedia.co, for the latest on Movies and Us and our other podcast, TV and Us. We will be back very soon with a Cinema Legacy poll. We reveal our number 1 picks, and then we are going to be reviewing Avatar: Fire and Ash, much to Sarah's excitement.
Here's the
Christmas
thing.
to us all. Happy holidays. We're gonna do another.
Oh God, have fun with that one.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. We have 2 excellent guests on for
Yes.
that particular episode. So I'm very excited to have that conversation. I'm not excited to go watch this movie, but the conversation is going to be so great because of our guests.
Yeah. I have seen both of them in the theaters, and we'll definitely go see this one because we're like, it's a spectacle. We probably have to. But I haven't enjoyed the experience. Like, no. It's pretty to look at and like probably the most shallow thing I've ever seen. So maybe this one will be different. I don't think so. I think it'll probably be more problematic than the last one. But maybe James Cameron will surprise me.
But like, we just want to go like swim underwater with lots of CGI and computerized stuff.
Oh my God, so much. Yeah. And you know what? It looks good. So at least they're putting the time into it. But also you could just tell a different story.
Yeah. No, the story is not good. We're not there for the story.
Oh, that's true. Sorry. Oh my God. What was I thinking? Right. We don't need stories.
A good story? Nah. We don't do
if you want a good story, just watch The Hunt.
What? Well done. You got one more wonderful shameless plug in there. That was great. All right. Well, we hope you have an amazing week. Happy holidays to everyone. Go hug your family. Go, cuddle up and watch something wonderful and enjoy great cinema. We'll see you soon.